Welcome back to the Junius Maltby channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us in today's conversation. Today's video has been a long time coming. I've kind of touched on this subject in the past and have received a numerous quantity of requests for a video that's somewhat based on this topic, and that's buying precious metals. Yeah, I have covered it in the past, but you know, where to buy them, how to buy them, what to look for, just that whole process. Some people are confused by it, especially newcomers to the world of buying precious metals, stacking, saving in precious metals. So everything you're going to hear today is my personal opinion. And how did I arrive at those opinions? Well, based on my experience in stacking and buying metals for over 25, 30 years time. Now, I am not a paid spokesman. I'm not compensated in any way from any of these companies. I'm not connected to any of the companies we're going to discuss and talk about. They may threaten me or talk to me after this video, but we will see. I'm just going to give you my personal opinion, my findings, and what I believe. A lot of you are going to be right on board with this. A lot of the things we're going to talk about you have heard in the past. Some of it might be new. So just buckle up, join me here, and let's talk about buying precious metals, specifically gold, silver, but some of these companies sell all four, platinum and palladium as well. So one of the first things I've done and I learned to do in the past, if I wasn't buying gold locally, because that's my number one thing, is I like to buy as local as possible. We'll just start there. I like to go local, and if I can't, if that's not an option, or I'm buying a quantity that exceeds the capacity of a local dealer and I can get a better deal for it, then I'll go outside of my locale. If it's not in driving distance, I'll go to the internet. That's definitely a possibility. I've purchased from eBay, and that can be sketch, but if it's a good, trustworthy person, I've saved those sellers and in my little account, I know who they are. But your number one goal, let's start with that. Your number one goal as a stacker, as a precious metals buyer, needs to be, and you need to keep this in mind and in focus all the time, to pay the least amount over spot as possible. If you have to, write that down. Number one, pay the least amount over spot possible. That's your number one goal. That's including all shipping and handling charges. You need to figure out what you're paying per coin delivered physical in your possession. Least amount over spot. What is? I'm hoping you guys know what spot is, because we're not going to have time to explain all these little nuances and things. So obviously spot is the price of gold per ounce. Okay, so now when you're going online, you can do a little fact checking and Better Business Bureau rating. Look up. Some companies score pretty low. There's a lot of different companies out there, and I'm surprised by some of the ratings I found today. They may have come up in some of the companies we're going to look at. So the first one we're going to look at is Goldworth Financial. You hear their ads on the radio all the time. All the time you hear these little Goldworth Financial ads. They explain, owning gold versus gold stocks. I agree with them. They have a list down at the bottom of one of these pages, one of their pages, on ETFs that have gone out of business. And it looks like they understand the risk of investing in what we term and call paper gold, and they're against it. And I totally agree with that. I like that about them. Now, I've never bought gold from Goldworth, so we'll come out right now and just say that. I've never purchased gold from them. I've never taken delivery. Today may have been the first time I've ever been on their website. I've heard their advertisements quite a bit on the radio and so on, but I've never purchased gold or had any experience with Goldworth Financial. One thing I dislike about any gold company is this, and Goldworth does it. They fell into the pit. They talk about the federal gold recall, and a lot of them talk about it as if it's a risk, if it's going to happen again, and it's something that's beyond our power. And you know my position on that. If it did happen, it's just something you don't comply with it. That's it. It's that simple. You don't comply with unjust laws, period. And you would have to do everything in your power to hide and secure your gold or your assets somewhere else. When the government's coming after the wealth of the people, there's other problems, much bigger problems. And people didn't comply with the federal gold recall when it did occur. I think one day we're going to have to just do an entire video dedicated to the history of the federal gold recall and actually what took place. It was not complied with nationally. That is why you see so many pre-1933 gold coins circulating nowadays and in collector sets and just out there in general. People buried them, stashed them, hid them. Okay, only one conviction ever occurred during that time, and it was just to set a precedent, set an example. So I don't like when companies use this fear tactic to, especially if it's used in any way to drive the purchasers of gold towards numismatics. That just, pardon my French, that just pisses me off. Because what they're doing is they're hawking you gold that has a lot of opinion wrapped around its value, a lot of subjectivity. It's not a very there's no way anyone can be objective in the assessment of the value of a numismatic valued coin, basically a coin that has some collector's sense to it. You're going to get 4 different people looking at it. All 4 of them will have a different opinion of the value of that antiquity or that gold coin that's aged. And that's why I try to steer clear from them. Because remember, your number one goal, if you're doing this for savings, is to be as close to spot as possible when you purchase a coin. If you're spending $1,800 on a St. Gaudens gold piece because it's old and gold's hanging around $1,100 or $1,200 an ounce, and you're paying close to $600 or $700 over spot, you're getting taken for a ride, and you're likely never going to see that money out of that coin again. Especially if you just, something's only worth what you can get for it when you sell it within 24 hours. You take it to a pawn shop or someone, you need money now because of a medical emergency or an insurance problem, you name it, you're most likely only going to get spot, if that, for it. Some guys will only pay you for the gold content, which will be, they're 90%, and so you're not even going to get a full ounce worth of payment back because they don't even weigh a full ounce. They don't contain a full ounce of gold. So I avoid numismatics for that reason, and I don't like the fear tactics driving people towards it. Here's something I don't like about them as well, the account types. I don't like when people have the IRA gold because I disagree with it. Fundamentally, I avoid it, steer clear of it, and I will never put gold in an IRA. I will not hold or own IRA gold. It's not physical. From what my understanding is, you can never take possession of IRA gold. Once it's in there, it's part of it, and it can change hands. You can sell it and disown possession of it, be dispossessed of that gold, but you can never physically take delivery of it when it's IRA gold. So completely disagree with that. I don't like it. Stay away from it. So I don't like precious metals on deposit, and I don't like storage options. I don't like people that offer to store my gold for you. If any of you guys want to store your gold somewhere else, you don't have to pay any storage fees whatsoever. I promise you. There are free options available. Here, Junius Maltby, send me your gold and I will store it for you. And if you ever want to come get it, I promise you can have it. I'll store it for you for free somewhere. It's not going to be insured, but I'll protect it the best I can with my firearms and my cat. We'll defend your gold, but it won't be taken. So don't. The key is here, just don't store your gold somewhere. It's ridiculous. Take possession of it, take responsibility, store it, hold it. If you ever need it, you're going to need it. You don't want to have to get it shipped to you, sign papers, talk to people on the phone. Gold is there for an emergency. Well, in emergencies, what's one of the things you have to deal with? Time constraints. No one has time to deal with these types of things in an emergency situation. It's just not something you're capable of handling, and it's just an encumbrance that you don't want to have to address or deal with. So, again, don't pay storage fees, don't do storage. Now, when looking at these companies, I looked at their prices over spot, and Goldworth Financial, I'm going to tell you right now, they get a big red X from me, a big no. I'm not buying any gold from them, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a viewer of the Junius Maltby channel, I encourage all of you to avoid them. I'm going to tell you right now why. Look at their settlement prices. $80 over spot for a Krugerrand. That is a ripoff. Don't pay that. 82 to 90. Look at the prices here. $138 over spot for a 1 ounce gold eagle. Absolutely despicable prices. They're gouging people. Don't trust them. Don't go near them. So again, avoid Goldworth at all costs. This company is charging an exorbitant price over spot and taking advantage of consumers. So please avoid them. Again, look at this Maple Leaf price, 82 over spot, ridiculous. This one blew my mind. do the math on this. British sovereigns, you shouldn't pay over $15 or $20 over spot. That's your goal. When you buy a British sovereign, a gold sovereign coin, you should be paying 15 to 20 US dollars at max over spot. I believe if you do the math on this price, the settlement price of 418, so pardon me as we sit here, I did it earlier. So gold today at 0.2354, I believe it's only got about 200 and something dollars in gold for. I think they're charging like 180. I'm not going to do the math real quick here for you, but it's about 180. If you do the math, this is today's prices, and you look at that sovereign, they're charging you more money over spot than I've ever seen anybody charge for British sovereigns. So that right there put the nail in the coffin. Scratch them off the list. Don't buy anything from them. Okay, so next we're going to look at APMEX because I do enjoy APMEX. I like these guys a lot. I actually have family and friends that have bought gold from APMEX, and nothing but good experiences at this point in time in dealing with them. I've never heard anything bad. They do get a A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Pretty easy to navigate site. That's another thing. I look at if you do buy online, I looked at the ease of the site navigation, what I'm looking at on there, and APMEX is really easy to negotiate, to look around for different products, different types of products, and you have the option of purchasing directly from the site without talking to anybody. That's important to me. I don't want to talk to somebody. I don't have a lot of questions. I just want to get in, get out. I want to buy gold and be on my way and do other things. I don't have a lot of time that day to make a giant project and a huge undertaking in the purchase of an asset. I don't want to talk to somebody with a headset who's trying to sell me something else. I don't want to buy a camel or a goat or whatever else it is you're hawking. I don't want an account with you and have a big exchange of information and have to deal with all these other things. And a lot of these companies you'll find do that. They try to lure you in to all kinds of other little packages, and APMEX doesn't do that. It's just, you want to buy gold? Here's some gold. You want to pay this price? Okay, buy it, and they deliver it. It's great. Excellent experiences. I know people who have bought incredible amounts of gold and silver from APMEX, and the transaction went about as smooth as you could possibly hope for. So APMEX definitely gets a plus in my book. Another thing, look at the prices here. Look at that price. Now remember where we just were, Goldworth Financial. Remember the prices they were charging? 2-3 times what APMEX is charging over spot. So you get a 1 ounce gold eagle there for $48.99 over spot. They got a lot of different options available for different gold, world gold, antiquities, you name it. But as you can see there, with APMEX, you can definitely receive discounts the more gold you do buy, and if you do check or wire versus credit card or PayPal. So if you do check or wire, you can drop those prices as well, which is easy to do. You go to your bank, you get a bank wire, money transfer, works that way. And at that point, that's when you really kind of want to make contact. You're going to want to talk to somebody at that point, make sure they receive the payment and so on. So APMEX definitely gets a big A+ from me as well as the Better Business Bureau. All right, so you can write that down. They get the Junius Maltby stamp of approval. Okay, Monex. I do know some people that, you want to know my experience here and why I get these opinions. I do know some people who have dealt with Monex, and in the past they have not had the A+ that you see on there now. From what I remember, I believe they were in the B or C range at one point. Looks like they've brought that up a little bit. Now, from personal experience, I can tell you this, from personal experience, that people have had delivery problems or delays, let's just say that. I know people that made large purchases exceeding 10, 15, 20 ounces or more in gold at a time from Monex. And the delivery time from the time that the order was placed left a lot to be desired for. It was not as smooth as it should have been. There were questions as to what products were ordered and what were delivered. There was now, as a matter of fact, a friend of mine ordered some gold buffaloes from them, and he thought he was getting this. So this is actually a good thing on their end. He thought he was just getting regular gold buffaloes, not anything spectacular. And I think he ordered 15. And what he ended up taking receipt of was slabbed, graded, like MS-69 first year gold buffaloes. So he didn't have to pay any extra, and he ended up getting slabbed coins. So that was kind of interesting. You know, they're graded. That's respectable. But that transaction, the reason I think they ended up sending him those was there was a tremendous delay in lag time from the time that he ordered the coins and the time he received them. And that wasn't isolated to just him. I had several friends that worked from Onyx, and all of them had to deal with these slight delays in delivery, and had some hiccups there. It just wasn't as smooth. I mean, when comparing Monex deliveries to the transactions I saw with APMEX, the APMEX ones won out. They were definitely superior, in my opinion, and in my experience, and the experience of my friends and cohorts, or whatever you'd like to call them. I do have one friend, because I have lots of friends, and yes, these are real people. I'm not going to divulge their names and addresses over the internet. I'm not going to tell you who they were, but these are real people we're discussing. Another friend, McIlvaney, they ordered from them. McIlvaney does not get my stamp of approval. I personally don't like it that they also push the fear. I'm going to wrap this up real quick here. They kind of do the fear thing with gold seizure and federal gold confiscation. And I don't like anyone who does a free gold kit. Okay? I'm going to talk about free gold kit. What is a free gold kit? You know who also does that? Goldworth in the beginning. I don't like Goldworth. Anyone who talks about free gold kits and free investor kits, to me that's weird. Because all that is a brochure of advertisements. It's an advertisement. They're going to send you information that tells you how great they are and why you need to buy gold and silver. You don't need to be told that. You're already making the effort to purchase gold and silver. You don't need to be told what to buy. That's your decision. And they're going to steer you. It's within their interests to steer you towards things that they're going to make more money on. So all a free gold kit is them telling you what to buy. Anyone who offers it, that's not a selling point. If anything, to me, it's a red flag. Okay, this guy's, because nothing's free. Everyone thinks a free gold kit, I'm going to get free gold and silver. No, nothing's free. No one's ever going to give you free metal. When they do give you the free gram of silver, I think Goldworth actually includes that in their free kit. Okay, do the price on a gram of silver. It's not even the price of postage. It's like 53 cents. So if someone says, I'm going to give you a free gram of silver to talk to us, they're just giving you like 50 cents. Just ignore them. So again, free gold kit, red flag. Stay away from people that offer free gold kits most of the time. It's just not respectable. I don't know. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's akin to somebody who's like a snake oil salesman, in my opinion. Why U.S. gold coins? McIlvaney kind of pushes those heavily, and they talk about why. Well, again, I do prefer gold, U.S. gold, but you know what? Gold sovereigns are awesome. Any gold coin, again, the first goal is always to get your gold as close to spot as possible. So however you can do that, whatever genre you can find yourself in, then it doesn't really matter. If you can go out and get like a Dutch guilder or the Wilhelminas or what have you, any foreign coin, a sovereign, Krugerrands, name it. If you can get that coin for $5 or $10 over spot, get it. Your goal is to get gold. Your goal is to get physical metal and weight. So if you can get it cheap, get it cheap. Again, this is a big red flag to me with McIlvaney. They offer storage and IRAs. Boom. Sorry, not going to happen. Don't want to deal with you. STL Incorporated Numismatic Properties. Andy Goss is the gentleman's name. This is another company, usgoldcoins.com. I had a close friend that did a lot of transactions. He's actually the one who turned me on to these guys. Phenomenal company as far as customer service and follow-up went with the friend of mine that I'm speaking of. And this is a separate friend, again, a real person. He bought a lot of investment-grade coins, and he bought some foreign coins, like Dutch coins and stuff like that. I believe he bought even some French and some sovereigns. He bought some, he really bought a myriad of coins. And again, his goal was to get as close to spot as possible. So he did well. Prices on these guys were pretty good. But the one thing that I do not like about their site, and buying from, again, I have not purchased from these guys at all, is somewhat difficult to navigate and not a lot of product availability in your face. When you go click on gold coins, the only thing you can see is 10th ounce gold eagles. Everything else they want you to call for. And again, remember what I told you. I don't want to call and talk to anybody. I want to execute a transaction. I don't want to become your friend. I don't really want to deal with a whole lot of that. You know, hey, this is what I want to buy, and then they start talking you through it. I don't need to be talked through it. I want to log on. I want to buy 10 Krugerrands or 10 Maple Leafs or 10 Eagles or 5 or 3 or whatever, and check out. And I want it clear. I want the prices clear and in my face. I want to see what today's gold price is on your site, and I want to see what I'm paying over spot with all the charges delivered to my front door. Does that make sense? That's what you as a consumer deserve. Open, upfront. You know, I don't go to the store and buy a bottle of wine and have to wait to get to the checkout counter and have a conversation with the lady for 15, 20 minutes to find out what the final price is on that bottle of wine. Well, it's $12, but there is a surcharge because you're only buying one. We're going to tack on $5. But then there's the fact that I have to check your ID. That's going to be another $3 charge on that. And you know, pretty soon you're paying $15, $20, $30, $40 for something that should cost $12. Make sense? So that's why I avoid those companies. That's something that I look for, the ease of the transaction, because my time is valuable. And hopefully that makes sense to you guys as well, because your time is valuable. All right, so of the 4 companies we've covered, you've seen kind of a rough and chaotic way and thought process I go through purchasing metals here. Of these guys that we just talked about, APMEX really is the only one that gets my seal of approval. I'm comfortable with them. I know there are other companies out there. Just use what we talked about today as kind of an outline of what to look for and the thought process that you might want to go through when you're evaluating a company on whether or not you want to buy metals from them. And the same thing holds over for silver. I mean, look at all these sites, look at their silver prices. APMEX has excellent silver prices. And also with APMEX, you are able to buy bars, great bars from them, all different kinds. Just the diversity of their product line is phenomenal. And again, customer service is great. And if one thing we didn't cover is selling back. We didn't even cover that. I like look at the options of selling your metal back to some of these companies and what they'll give you for it. Again, if you go back to APMEX and look at them, they have right on their site the APMEX buy price. You can look right at it. It's what they will buy that particular coin for back from you if you chose to sell it to them. So that's a neat option to have available. And APMEX is really good about that. So again, I'm going to reiterate, I know because I didn't cover every company on here, I didn't cover your personal pet favorite company on here, but these are 4 of the big heavy hitters on the market that I look at and that exist. There are others. As far as my personal opinion and experiences go, APMEX has been the best. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's who I prefer. I've walked you through the reasons for that. I've showed you a couple companies here. Yeah, they're all rated well, but some of them have less than stellar ratings in the past. And again, always look at Better Business Bureau ratings, read the opinions on them, and just make sure that when you do these transactions, it's a legit company and you are going to take delivery and fast and get a delivery date. And you know, you might need to be aggressive, but get a delivery date, confirmation of delivery, tracking numbers, all of that stuff. Make sure you get your possession of your metal. And if you don't, let me know. I'll go break some kneecaps for you. All right. Thanks for watching the Junius Maltby channel. Thanks for being a friend of the channel, part of the project. Always value your guys' opinions and participation on here. And hope this answered some questions. And hopefully some of you guys value this video and send it to friends that might be suffering from some questions on where to buy their metal from. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys.